A bit of an update video this time. It's been about, well, probably close to a month now since the last one. Still enjoying the videos, just trying to get something out there for you guys to watch. Nothing too exciting, but nothing too exciting in my videos anyway. Just take you for a bit of a look around at some current jobs. Noticeably a little bit quieter at the moment, has been since the start of the new financial year, coming into the end of August now. Still work coming in, but yeah, definitely a lot quieter. My customers are they're a lot quieter too, so obviously less coming to them, less coming to me. Just take you for a bit of a look around at some of the things that are going on at the moment, and a bit of a look at my Mazak Mission, which some of you might be familiar with if you've just come to watch my channel. There's a heap of videos at the start of my channel, which was mostly the reason for doing this channel in the first place. I just wanted to share some of the things that I was doing on the rebuild. Just something I decided to do at the time. I got sort of a bit carried away. I did talk a little bit more about it in those videos, so if you're interested, you know, definitely go back and watch those videos. As I say, there's a fair bit there for you to watch, and just take you over and show you something else that I'll be working on possibly tomorrow if I don't get sort of interrupted with some other jobs. I won't be complaining if there's some jobs coming in, because as I say, it has been a fair bit quieter lately, so the jobs are not as, I'm not as busy as I normally would be, and the lathe is sitting around a little bit more than it normally would. Not that it's that flat out anyway, but anyway, not waste too much more time. Just take you over and show you the job and the Mazak, and just come back and show you some other current jobs, and then come back and just run another quick job on the CNC lathe. Been a little while since I've worked on the Mazak Mission. Probably over 2 years now. We're getting up close to 2 years. That's since I've had the Doosan lathe / D&N Solutions lathe that you were just looking at. I had the Mazak, or the Mazak Mission, or the Mazak CNC lathe for a fair while now. As I say, I'll take you over and show you that shortly. So I've got the tool turret sitting in front of you at the moment, so I'm just going to go through and repair a lot of the battle scars and things like that you can see here, because it's probably a la what's been going on with the whole rebuild. As I say, if you watch those other videos, it sort of make a fair bit of sense. I did get a bit carried away rebuilding the whole machine from the ground up. Just going to go through, as I say, fixing up welding and machining and things like that. So I'm not too sure if I'll do a video. If I feel it's a little bit interesting, I might maybe make a video about it. Just depends on how the time frame goes, and if I feel it's worthwhile. Having a little bit of a fire sale at the moment. You can probably see some bits and pieces in the top right hand corner of the screen. I'm not getting rid of everything, but just sort of unloading a few things, just going through, and things I do need and don't need, just having a little bit of a clean, I suppose, a spring clean, or pre-spring clean I suppose. We're not quite there in spring yet, but coming up soon in September. And so just going through and just sorting out things that I've had for years, and just things that I've accumulated for jobs, inserts, tool holders, and all sorts of things. So just trying to lighten the load more than anything else. I'm not ready to close up yet, but just getting rid of the things I could do without, and just trying to slim things down a little bit. I'm not in financial dire straits yet, but yeah, well, it's just nice to be able to get rid of things that just sit around. I'm sort of a bit like that. If I'm not using it, get rid of it type of person. But anyway, I'll get back to that turret, and I'll take you over and show you the Mazak, not to drag it on too long. Although it's noticeably quieter over here with the machinery, it's still fairly noisy with the door. Fairly windy day today, trying to blow the house away at the moment. I know what's going on with the weather at the moment, very windy outside. So you'll hear a fair bit of noise in the background. Got you pointed at my Mazak Mission, or Mazak QT15. So it's a 1990 model QT15. I've gone all the way down to the base. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but now obviously I have my reasons for doing it. I thought I was going to keep this machine well pretty much from the rest of my life. I couldn't really see the point of, well, I never seen I could justify buying a new machine, and I still really can't anyway. The Doosan lathe, or as they keep calling it, is probably a little bit overkill for what I need. It's great to have, and it's nice to have nice things, of course. No one's going to say no to having nice gear, but it is really probably overkill. This is more than enough for the work that I do, and I'm still sort of I'm not sort of worrying about it. I was trying to get my words right. Still thinking about what I'll do anyway, but I've got to get it going first, and then I'll work out from there, see what I can get for this, and I'll decide what I'm going to do. So I'll just get it done, and get back to this now. As I say, it's a bit quieter now, so trying to get back and get a bit of work done on this machine. Take you over and give you a bit of a look. Nothing's really changed as of the last video. It's just got pushed over here to make room for the new lathe. The CRT screen under there I've already mentioned, so just cover for rag just to keep the dust out of there. I've got to make up some new brackets to be able to mount the new flat screen in there. A few wires hanging out of there, so I've got to replace some of the lights that are on here, so when you're switching over you control these illuminate. So I've just got to replace possibly those. I've still got the originals, but I'm not too sure if I'll use them. I'm probably looking at replacing them like everything else. It's just a good update, you know, as I've mentioned in the previous video. Some of the controls on here are still original, but most of them have been replaced. You know, all the buttons and things like that, because they just wear down over time. It's just to make it look nice. Basically to have an old machine look like new. A bit like restoring an old car, I suppose you could say. Even change this, so even that's brand new. So the other one was looking a bit average, but so it was more so that, and that's sort of a la the whole machine. Whatever looked average, I've replaced. So just try and get a little bit of light up on that. But there is a few videos there if you are interested in that. I just thought I'd bring you over here and sort of show you what I'm talking about when I say Mazak Mission. So I've got the covers off at the moment. Unfortunately, it's got a bit of surface rust on here, so I've left this raw because this is the sliding panel. I did think about painting it to make it look nice, and maybe it might make me crazy and I might have to still paint it, but it is a running surface where the actual slides run on it, so it'll eventually just wear the paint off anyway. So maybe it's something I should have painted, but anyway, I'll worry about that later. If it annoys me enough, I might take it off and get around to painting it, which I probably should have done, which I should have already done before I assembled it on the machine, but I didn't plan on it sitting here all this time. I thought it'd be running in time, just progressively rebuilding until it was finished to the point where I could use it. But yeah, that hasn't happened. I've just got under the pump, and all my work was getting done on the manual lathe. And I'll show you a job on the CNC lathe shortly that I used to do on the manual lathe, and everything that was turned was done manually. So I'm only a small shop that's growing and sort of slowly buying technology as I can afford to. So CNC lathe, CNC mill, as you've seen in probably a couple of videos, manual lathe, manual mill as well. So they're the machines that always get used, and the job's coming in slowly, but hopefully that will improve in time. I sort of lost my train of thought because in between coming over here to look at this, a customer called in to drop a job off, so I sort of lost my train of thought where I was up to actually now. I won't talk too much about it because everything's covered in those other videos. You're welcome to go back and watch those other videos if you like. As I say, there's plenty of information there to watch. The whole point of the channel was to, because of the Mazak, I didn't have any plans of doing any other videos at that time. It was just what I was doing at the time. And that's probably some of the reason for the video today, is just enjoying the channel, enjoying doing videos, I should say, for the channel, for you guys to watch, and you guys seem to still like to watch. So I'll keep putting the videos out for you guys to watch, and hopefully I'll get back to this shortly and get this going, and be nice to bring you back for a couple more videos on the Mazak Mission. There's a cover sitting up on top there, so the stuff sitting on top's not junk. It's all the parts that are on top of the machine just to keep everything in one place. That panel up there is a new stainless steel panel to replace the panel that's under the tool turret. I might have talked about in previous videos, so I had that remade. I've had to do a little bit of welding on it, so there's still a little bit of work to do on that. Get that mounted back in the machine, and a lot of other little things to finish. As you can see, it's mostly finished. Still that ugly green coolant tank down the bottom. I've still got to do a little bit of work on that I want to change something. So that'll get done in the same colour as the rest of the machine. So it'll be a nice machine when it's all finished. A little bit dusty now. But you'll get back to that probably, hopefully tomorrow. I'll get back onto that tool turret, get that cleaned up, get that mounted back on there, and just keep working on it. So even when there's nothing to do, there's still something to do, and I want to get this finished. So obviously I need to do something with it. It can't just sit in my garage forever. So I'll just take you back over and show you a few other jobs, and then we'll get back on the CNC lathe to finish the video. One fairly sort of small, simplish sort of job. I've probably mentioned him a few times in videos, the boatman as I call him. So he does a lot of work on, well, mostly Chevs, but other brands of engines as well. big block, blown big blocks, turbocharged, normal aspirator. So he does all the builds race engines for boats. You'd figure he'd buy something better for an engine stand, which is what you're looking at the moment. But he picked it up cheap, and then he brought it to me, and just to modify it to how he wants. So I've just come in and welded in gusseting and made up some new handles and things like that for it. So just sort of changed it to how he wants it, just modifying things. I'm not too sure if he plans to sandblast it and paint it. I'm not too sure what will happen there as far as that goes. He's probably got about, there's probably a good dozen of these in his shop. So he has different engines on there, and customers just obviously allocate money to him to be able to keep going with the engine in different stages. So he's always got something on the go, and he brings me jobs like this from time to time. So he's good, he gives me these sorts of jobs along with the other customers I've got, some small, some bigger than others. One job I was just running on the manual lathe while I was running the job on the CNC, which I'll take you out of you shortly. Just some pins, some 1045 pins for a local earth moving business that shoots me some work from time to time. So fairly straightforward, just some tapers on, just clean the ends off and just cut the tapers on the end there. As I say, 1045, 1.5" material. So fairly straightforward job, and just a nice job to be able to do while the job's running on the CNC lathe, which is good when I can do jobs like that. I can set up some reasonable sized jobs on the CNC, and then I can be over doing other jobs on the manual lathe like this, or even on the CNC mill that's in there. It's not running at the moment, but I've got a job coming up for that probably early next week, I think it is, an aluminium job, so that'll be running soon. But yeah, that's good to have jobs like that, even though it is small. But it's always good to have work coming in. I'll just take you over and show you the job on the CNC lathe now. I'll give you a bit of a look at the parts first before we get inside the machine. Nothing really exciting to see inside the machine. You can't really see much anyway. So just making these parts here. They're for a part that I make, and this is just a stock run. So I'm just doing this while I've got time. Well, hopefully you have time anyway. It'd be good to have more work coming in, but I have got a few things coming in at the moment, but as I've mentioned earlier, it is noticeably a lot quieter than it has been. But I've got a fair few of these to do, so like some in the box there, and some sitting on the top of the towel there, just straight from the machine, just the water just draining off those. Just take you for a bit of a look over at the machine now. Parts box down the front here, the parts catcher, and obviously the chuck to hold the part. So it just comes in, faces, well, cuts off the face. So basically a facing operation with the parting off tool. Comes in, slices two off, catches it in the parts catcher, which I'll show you. And so we've got that, obviously the parting tool with the coolant tool, coolant coming over the top of the tool. Eventually get my words right. And just a coolant activated bar puller. So it's just run that job for you, just to give you guys something to look at, actually something happening in the video, rather than me just pointing you at stuff. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So we'll just get it set up and just run a couple off and give you guys a bit of a look, and then just finish the video. Obviously I can only show you as much as the machine will let me show you as far as the coolant goes. The parting off you can see a bit of. So nice to do that on a CNC, just get you zoomed in nice and close. As you can see, the parts catcher came up. Hopefully you got to see that. Maybe I was zoomed in a bit too close. The parts catcher down below. Parts one off, drops it in the box, moves over, parts the next one off. As it gets to the end of the cut, I just slow the feed right down for about the last, well, probably, I think it's about 0.2 of a mil, I think, each side. So it doesn't throw the part across the machine. About 99.9% of them land in the box, but occasionally you get a couple that get tossed. So, the coolant activated bar puller, which you won't be able to see much of when the window gets covered, I should say. Just try and open the door and give you a bit of a look without getting soaked. So that just grips the part, pulls it out, gets it ready for the next cycle. Just get out before we get soaked again. Might be able to see a bit from here maybe. So there we go. And just come in and continue the operation again. So as exciting as that can be. The good thing about CNCs is the obvious, well, you don't have to be the one doing the job. The machine does the work for you. It does get a bit mundane if you're just standing here. I don't know how guys do that sort of job where they're just standing at the machine operators. But definitely a handy machine to have sitting there for doing especially jobs like this. I was running these on the manual lathe before, believe it or not, and you can imagine how drawn out that was. So nice and easy, parts come down into the box here. Just got to run a few more of those off and we're pretty much finished that job. Just getting back a little bit and just let that job keep going. I won't worry about showing you too much on the screen, the program or anything. Pretty straightforward sort of program. As you can see, you don't see much through the window. Yeah, great machine to have, as I say. A little bit probably overkill, not so much, not because I don't like the machine, it's just there was jobs I was planning to get for this machine. Well, you try to buy machinery in plan of getting more work for it. But no, I love the machine, but we'll see what happens when I get the Mazak finished. I'm not planning to sell this machine as yet, so like the fire sale I'm having at the moment. But it is in the back of my mind to maybe sell a better machine and keep an older machine, as contrary as that sounds. But yeah, a nice machine, but yeah, I'll see what happens when I get the Mazak done, and we'll see what sort of money I can get for that. If I can get what I'm looking for that machine, then I'll look at keeping this machine. But if it's looking like I can't really find a buyer for it, then yeah, I might, maybe just a slight chance, maybe I might look at selling this machine, as silly as that sounds. But yeah, just bringing along a bit of thought processing at the moment, a bit quiet at the moment, but still jobs to do, and just showing you something on the go. Thanks for watching the videos, and if you're new to my channel, go and check out my other videos, and if you like the videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, as everyone else asks for, which I never generally do in a video. Yeah, like and subscribe if you can. So I look forward to seeing you guys back on the next video. Okay, talk to you soon.